Boro dealt a huge injury blow ahead of a crucial playoff run-in as Ben Doak has potentially played his last game for the Boro. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and another news update video. Sadly today it's not a very positive one, as it has been confirmed by the likes of the Echo and the Gazette, and was confirmed by Michael Carrick in his press conference yesterday, that Ben Doak has maybe, not 100%, but has maybe or likely played his final game in a Boro shirt. The thigh injury that he picked up after the Preston game earlier this year seemed to be one that would keep him out for between 4 to 6 weeks. I do remember around the time getting a message which told me he was going to be out for the season and it was a long-term injury and we wouldn't see him again. That rumour and that source then changed to, no, it's only going to be 4 to 6 weeks. So it was weird at the time with the information I got told that it went from being a season ender to one that was actually more short-term. In essence, it became a potential season ender anyway, because it's been confirmed that whether the injury has been aggravated in a recovery or whether he's just had a general setback, he's had to have surgery to get this issue solved. He's gone back to his parent club Liverpool to have rehab, which is always a worrying sign for the loanee club when the player has to go back to his parent club to get better. Essentially, it's a worry for us and it's a massive risk against time now if Ben Doak is to play in a Boro shirt again. So this is what was said in the Echo following Michael Carrick's press conference yesterday. Michael Carrick says it's not clear at this stage whether Ben Doak has played his last game for Middlesbrough after the winger required surgery on his thigh injury. Doak is back with Liverpool to start his rehab after undergoing what was being described as a minor procedure on the injury that has sidelined the winger since January. The 19-year-old was initially expected to be fit to return early in March, but the injury turned out to be worse than first thought, and after the complication, it was decided that surgery was the best course of action. It then goes on to say, Boro will now remain in close contact with Liverpool and will be kept updated on Doak's rehab progress, but Carrick admits he doesn't know at this stage whether the Scotland international will return before the end of the season. Boro have 11 games left to play, plus any playoff fixtures if they finish in the top 6, of course. And he did say Ben is back at Liverpool doing a bit of rehab now. Of course, a little bit more on Ben Doak. He has started for Boro this season, as we all know. We'll get to his numbers shortly and what a miss he will be. But the Echo points out he has started for Boro this season, was one of the Championship's standout performers in the first half of the season, especially leading up to Christmas before Boro's form nosedived. Liverpool were delighted with the way the teenager's loan move was playing out, and Premier League leaders turned down permanent bids from Crystal Palace and Ipswich in January. He then points out that Doak has loved his time on Teesside and is incredibly frustrated and was determined to play his part in the promotion run-in, and he is one of many other first-team players who Boro are going to be without. Not just this weekend, but the upcoming weeks. Of course, McGree has been out for a long time now. We've got 3 defenders all out for a good few weeks, with Rav out again, Edmondson and Luke Ayling too. Boro's terrible record with injuries over the last 2 years or so has struck us down once again. So, is this bad news? Is it as worse as it seems? I think it's pretty bad news for Boro, I'm going to be honest. I know there's been a lot made of our recent pickup in form and that Marcus Forss has stepped in and done a great job on the right-hand side, and I 100% credit Marcus Forss for that. He's a player I've always rated and I think he's done brilliantly, and he offers us a great goal threat on the right-hand side. But other than that, you've only really had Morgan Whittaker playing on that right-hand side effectively, and of late we've actually seen him have more of an impact, a positive impact, playing more centrally with Azaz on the left. So even with Marcus Forss being a really good player, a good finisher, and has been in pretty good form of late, Ben Doak gives you something different. And he gives us something down the right that we simply do not have anywhere else, and that is sheer pace, directness, and width. And there are certainly times in games, and there have been in Boro's recent really bad run, where we were just crying out for some width down the sides. You know, when Boro play central and it comes very narrow, we can become very one-dimensional and easy to defend against. And I guess that's what Forss has given us. He has given us a little bit more width down the right and something else for the opposition's defenders to think about. But there was no denying that our really bad run of form was kind of in sync with Doak going out the team, Azaz dropping out of form as well. We cannot forget how unbelievable Ben Doak was before Christmas. You know, he was touted as one of the best players in the league. As they said in the Echo article, he had Premier League interest, with Liverpool smacking a reported £30 million price tag on him. It's undeniable how much of an X factor he was in games. And the thing with Ben Doak was, even when he wasn't particularly playing well, he was still effective. You know, even if his final ball wasn't great, even if his decision-making wasn't great, he always gave the opposition's defenders a nightmare. He tortured fullbacks. He had them going one way, then the other. He'd get us further up the pitch. He was a great out ball. He was a great outlet, something we certainly do miss at times when we're under the cosh in games. There are so many immense qualities to his game that this Boro team lacks massively without him, and there's no one else really in the team who can bring them qualities into the side without him. You know, I was hoping to get him back towards the end of the season, because in them big games, he is the sort of player who can create a moment from absolutely nothing. You know, in a top game, in a playoff game where it is all or nothing, he is one of them players who can beat 2 or 3, put a ball in and make the difference, make the goal, create something from nothing. And of course, he's electric on the counter-attack as well. So, yeah, I don't think you can downplay how much of a blow this is. It's huge for Boro. You know, looking at his numbers, 21 starts from 24 games, 7 assists and 3 goals. That's an assist 1 in every 3 starts. That's pretty good going, really, for a 19-year-old in the Championship. And we always said he was destined and will be destined to go to the very top. Whether he is a long-term replacement for Mo Salah, we don't know. I'm sure he will have a great future playing at the very, very top level. But Boro had struck gold with Ben Doak. We'd struck gold with a loan that we beat a number of other teams too. I don't think anyone even knew, even Boro, even us as fans, we knew how good he would become and would be for us so quickly as well, how quickly he adapted and really tore up the Championship. So to have him gone, it's a devastating blow. And honestly, do I think he'll be back before the end of the season? I don't. I just know how careful Boro are with players coming back with injuries and how long it takes them not only to get back in the team, but you then need that player to then get back up to speed and get back in the team. You know, it's not just a case of the second he's match fit, he's back in and firing again. There'll be a slight process of him getting back up to speed again. So to do all that in 11 games after a surgery, I think is looking unlikely. Maybe he could be the sort of player, if we made the playoffs, you could throw in at the very end with a playoff campaign in, you know, a 2 playoff semi-finals where you know beyond that he's got a full summer to recover. You could risk him in them games where it is so a high risk and there's so much at stake. So maybe if Boro's season is extended by an extra week or 2, there's a chance Liverpool might still allow him to play in a playoff campaign. But if not, I don't see much chance of him coming back and helping us between now and the end of the regular season. And that's a big blow because some of the games we've got are crucial and are massive. And it's just devastating. It really is devastating. And again, we're at the mercy of Liverpool. You know, if they don't deem him good enough and fit enough to come back, then he won't come back. You know, it's not like he's one of Boro's players who, you know, we can just decide to chuck them in because we need them at a crucial period. We can risk them. It's not our place to say. It's not our decision to make. It's Liverpool. So it's out of our hands. It's out of our control. We can only hope he recovers quick. And Liverpool also feel like they can risk him and risk his long-term health, I guess, and injury, and risk him going back to Boro at a time where, you know, the stakes will be raised so high potentially. So it's a tough one. It's a really, really tough one. And it sums up Boro's season, really. Another big player lost at a really, really crucial time. And looking at Boro's squad depth, he is a huge miss now because on that right-hand side, we only really have Marcus Forss at the moment and Morgan Whittaker. And Whittaker's looked so much better, more central. Forss has gave us that little bit of width. The balance of the front fours looked so much better. But let's be brutally honest, Marcus Forss is far from reliable when it comes to injuries as well. So if he goes down with an injury, which is more likely than not, I would say, we're down to just Morgan Whittaker on that right-hand side. I mean, we've seen Illing Jr. is not really all that effective there. Do you bring a Bergzorg on the right-hand side, maybe? I don't know. It's just another massive conundrum for Boro and a real problem that could get worse, along with other areas where defence, for example, we thought, man, we're light there, and now look at us, a few injuries and we're screwed there. Could be the same on the right-hand side. So a big reliability now on the shoulders of Marcus Forss to carry the fort on that side, really, and hold the fort up and deliver the goods consistently between now and the end of the season. And we can only hope and pray that Ben Doak will, by some miracle, not only recover in time, but Liverpool will allow him back to play a big part in Boro's run-in, if our season is, of course, still alive by then and we do make the top 6. But let me know your thoughts on this news in the comments. It is really, really difficult news. It's really tough for Boro and really unlucky, you could say, and I can only wish Ben Doak a full recovery. And if he has played his final game in a Boro shirt, I wish him all the best in his future career because, well, he's set the Riverside alight at times and will go down as one of the best loans we've had in recent years in such a short period of time. So it's a shame it's ended this way. Here's hoping he will play at least one game for us again in the future. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, if you've enjoyed the video, do hit a like on the video. We do lots of Boro content here on the channel, so subscribe for all that good stuff as well. But until next time, guys, do take care, and I'll see you all in the next one.